I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Joe, we're a little loud. Can we bump this down? Is that better? Perfect. All right. Well, welcome to the June 2025 North Utica Neighborhood Association meeting. Again, for all of the new faces here, my name is Stephen Piacentino. I'm one of the associate directors. We have Mr. Joe Gelati right here. He is an associate director. And then Mr. Bodan Rabarski, the nice gentleman you met at the door with the raffle tickets and the sign-in. Please don't forget to buy your raffle tickets. We have a very full evening for you tonight. I'm going to start with Officer Dongsaman. Jimmy, if you have a moment, we'll do our monthly kind of police update, nice if you will. Yeah. There we go. Just like you and me.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice, short, and sweet.
That's right. That's right.
How you guys doing? 93 calls for service in North Utica. Nothing to report to you guys. If you have anything for me to bring back to do some research on, I'll be more than willing to do so. But yeah, it's North Utica, you guys always run a tight ship, so kudos to you guys. What else here? Someone brought up about something about dogs getting biting people. If you guys run into that situation where you know somebody that got bit by a dog, or if you got bit by a dog, you can definitely call us. We'll take the report. We have an animal control unit that does all the investigation pertaining to it. But I mean, we all love dogs, but sometimes you got to hold owners accountable.
Where was it? Where did it happen?
In North Utica.
I know, but I walk every day.
Yeah, no, not near you. So, but I mean, in general, you should report it. So we have it on file, and you always want to keep a paper trail. You can always go on the City of Utica's website. There's all the city local codes and about dogs running loose and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Excellent. Any questions for Officer Dongsaman while we have his attention? Luckily, not a lot to report. That's always a good thing.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, hey,
yeah.
Jimmy, thanks so much.
Yeah, I'll be back
really
here.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Excellent. So, Bo wanted me to remind you that we have some refreshments for you. Obviously, please feel free to help yourself. So there's some delicious Holland Farms donuts, as well as some water and in the cooler back there. Unfortunately, our city rep and our county legislative rep was not able to be here tonight. So I'm going to have Mr. Joe Beatrice, our Ward 6 council person, do his monthly brief, and he's also got some information from the mayor's office as well.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Nice hot day finally. I'm going to read Mayor Delaney sent this out to us regarding storm we had the other day. We've had some terrible storms. DPW has been out from 5 o'clock Sunday morning, but basically this is from the mayor's office, City of Utica's, from the DPW Commissioner Mark Sokolowski. Sunday, June 22nd, 2025, crews from the DPW and Parks Department worked to clear roadways and remove storm debris in preparation for a more extensive cleanup operation. Day 1, which is today, June 23rd, today's cleanup efforts began in several of the hardest hit areas across the city. DPW and Parks crews worked together, down trees from houses and vehicles. Tomorrow, Tuesday, June 24th, cleanup operations will continue, focusing again on tree removal from vehicles and homes in the Cornhill section of the city, the second most heavily affected area. Crews will then move into West Utica to perform similar work. Once the trees have been removed from homes, vehicles throughout the entire city, DPW and Parks crew will begin picking up storm-related green waste that has been placed at the curb. to report storm cleanup needed in your area, please use one of the following options. Number one, you can call me. Number two, email the DPW commissioner. If you guys want after, because you're not going to probably get it real quick, I'll have the email addresses right here. Number two, email the mayor's office. That's an easy one, mayor@cityofutica.com. They always tell you to use the 311 app. I'm not sure how many people use it, but it is pretty good. And you can submit a request online at same thing, cityofutica.com/report-a-problem. But like I said, come to me if you want to write it down. And I just want to explain something to you too. So if you guys are mowing grass, or doing whatever you do and normally put stuff in the bucket, you need to do that. The only thing that can go to the curb right now is if branches, trees, stuff from the storms. Okay. Other than that, it's been kind of quiet in the city. We starting next month, we'll only have one meeting a month. I'm still available all the time. I will not be here for the July meeting. I'll be out of town. But you guys call me. You got any questions? You got any questions on anything that you want to talk about that I'm not addressing? Please let me know. So,
any quick update on the opening of Harbor Point? That's happened in the last month.
Yeah, the Harbor Point was open. You get a chance, walk down there. I mean, you have the two buildings, the 33 and the 17 building. We have bidders on one of them. We have a major bidder on that they're just working on getting financing, and the other one is going to be out for bid again. But as far as fishing, walking the area, there's pigtails. Our biggest problem that we have, don't laugh, is geese dropping. Okay, I'm not sure if any of you that walk every morning at the Ray Hill Trail in New Hartford have the same problem. Hopefully, it's a seasonal thing because usually like over there they have their babies, and by the end of June they're gone. So this is a lot bigger of a water area. It's impossible, to be honest with you, to clean it every day. I mean, and again, some people say, maybe you can do something to get rid of them, like a bang or one of those, loud machine
Percussion devices, yeah.
But then it takes away from being down there. You don't want to go down to the harbor and keep hearing every 5 minutes of, a loud noise. So I'm sure it just happened. We just opened, I think, June 4th. And so there's problems, but it's very nice. I encourage everybody to take a walk down there and see what's going on, because it is nice.
Joe.
Yeah.
Nice to see that open. Couple of things. Those two buildings you're talking about, they're
Yes.
both staying and they're going to
They
be
have to stay.
restaurants or
They have
whatever.
to stay. The one building, the 33 building, that was the state garage.
Yeah.
Right now, Mohawk Valley Gardens has a bid in on it. They're going to add like a banquet facility to it, and it's going to be a restaurant. And the second building, the 17 building, that's the smaller one. There is a couple bidders on there. They're going to make it like a
So
restaurant.
it's anticipated they'll stay at some
They
point.
have to. They can't be. They would have been torn down, but they can't. That's
Okay.
part of the whole project.
The other thing is there any plan there to open the old city lock?
So here's the deal there. That lot would be that we took over for the Harbor Corporation, and that lot is not working if you go through there. It's about a $15 million investment to fix that. Wouldn't be us. It would be the Canal Corp has to do that. There's talk right now. It was supposed to be put in with funding to do that. There is talk right now that down the road to not make it a full lock, to find a way, which I'm not sure, because that's what the locks are for. It holds the water to put the boats in. We don't really need a lock system there.
No.
We need something, just small boats to get in and out. So there is plans down the road to do something so boats can come in there. Because as of right now, what you can use the harbor for is paddle boat and kayaking. There's no actual boat launch in there to put your boat on. You really couldn't go anywhere. You can get to the Mohawk River from there.
You can.
Yes, you can get to the Mohawk, but you're not going to come if you were going through the canal. that lock does not work right
Because
now.
that's that location coming east or west. We spent a lot of time biking on the canal.
Yeah,
I mean,
and if you go over, you still do now?
yeah, I biked down there the
You
other
see
day.
how bad they let that lock go now?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah, and I mean that would be such a calling card.
Exactly. And they're
Because we're
supposed to, there's, the state is supposed to take care of that. But obviously with a price tag like that, and it's
Yeah.
been let go so long that it's,
there's no way to I'd say demolish it or just you
Yeah.
don't need a lock.
yeah, but
That's the cost to
whole
demolish it.
right, that's the cost of, it's like 12 million is the cost to fix the lock and do all that. I don't know even if you have to demolish it, but the problem there is when you have those locks, like you go to Marcy and stuff,
Right,
the
right.
boats come through.
Yeah.
They raise the water so you can get to the next one. So I'm not a specialist on it, but I'm not really sure
That might upset
that you could do that. But that's what their plan is, what they want to do, is be able to open it up. Even if there was a way to open it up to get through from the Mohawk River there, but there's not a lot of boats.
And there's no plan. I know there's the bike trail because we bike it. We come from Lot 20 down into Utica into the.
Yeah.
There's no way of putting a bike trail actually from Harbor Point up to that lock, other than because I guess it would be parallel to the one that's there.
Well, right now, I mean, where the Harbor Point is going to be on that side is where Visions is building the hotel and the housing and that stuff there. So I'm not really sure if it would be there. You know what I mean?
And is that front section where you see the circle and you got those two areas with covered roofs on them? Is that going to be like an amphitheater area for
There is actually July 3rd. I think there is a sympathy concert coming there. I'm thinking down the road, I would like to see and I talked to the mayor about it, like, once a week or something.
That'd be nice.
Have the bandstand, have like a food truck area. I know, I probably shouldn't say this, it won't be this year, but I would bet you next year the city fireworks are gonna be there.
That would be great.
So it's nice. I told you, right now though, that's how it is. It seems like it is here a lot. People complain about stuff. So it hasn't been open in 50 years. They finally got it going. And you're getting calls about.
Oh, I think it's great.
You're getting, but you know what? I went down there and I get it. When you're walking, you got to dodge where you're walking because there's droplets.
That's true all the way.
It's the same way when I go to the Rail Trail every morning.
Yeah.
New Hartford comes, that's split between New Hartford and Whitesboro. They try to come and hose it down. But that's a path. You know what I mean? I'm not sure how far it is, but I would say from one corner of the harbor to the other corner, it's probably close to 3/4 of a mile, and then it's a big wide open space. So we can't send people there every day
of course not.
to do that, but that's what it actually needs, because when you don't do it every day, it's doubling and.
The other, before I leave that one thought, so can we write, is there anybody, would it be the Canal Corporation? Is there anybody we can write to regarding this lock? Because, and maybe like you say, it just can't be done because of what it does to the whole water system. I don't know.
Yeah.
But boy, that would be
probably
the
write
nuts.
the Canal Corp, and you could probably copy the mayor on it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I can give you the mayor's email. I don't have the Canal Corp's email, but I'm sure it's probably not that hard to get. Yeah, you can. It's I think the first couple of years when I was on the harbor committee, and I didn't have no idea when I found out in the third year that you can't use the harbor. I'm like, what do we even have in a harbor? What are we having it for? But then they explained it. It's the ambience of the water, and it is nice.
It is. Yeah.
It's nice, but
that would really.
First step.
Yeah. Okay.
So
all right, thanks, Joe.
Anybody else got anything? Yes.
Hi, I'm sorry. So this is my first time coming to this meeting.
Welcome. I'll give you one of my cards.
Okay, great. I live on Rockhaven.
Yes.
And I heard a couple weeks ago about this massive housing project that Deerfield's trying to put in. It's 5 houses away from where I live.
Yep. So let's talk about it. Okay. So number one, in August, we're going to have the people from Deerfield here.
Okay.
But I just got to set you straight on one thing. There's no massive housing project going near you right now. Okay. As of now, there is a housing, I think 51 units by 12 North. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Which is Deerfield. So nothing to do with Utica. Okay. And it's up far enough where it's up by 12 North, then there's the Bank of Utica, and then there's the area where you're talking about.
Yes.
And it's not low-income housing. It's workforce housing between $50,000 and $80,000 and a nursery, okay? And where you're talking about, I've been to a couple of meetings, because the reason I went to the meetings, because I was told a couple of people from North Utica went there, and they told them they couldn't talk.
Yes, I was at that.
Okay, but nobody was supposed to talk. That was a mistake. So, what's going on by above Rock Haven and Woodhaven and all that is, number one, Chapani is pushing it, county executive's pushing it, SUNY is pushing it, not housing by your house. There originally was going to be 4 buildings. There's going to be a hotel, a convenience store. Okay, they've looked into it now. The Army Corps of Engineers has to change it because the creek that's going there is in a different area, so they can have 2 buildings of housing as of right now. To be honest with you, I would, and I'm not saying this in my own opinion, I watch these things, how they happen. You're talking, if it happened years away, and I would bet you it doesn't happen because of the Army Corps of Engineering with the water. They have to have less water coming out of that property now than there is now after this is built, okay? And they can't move this creek, that it's a protected area. So for everybody who wants to talk about it's low-income housing, it's this and that, not true. And to be honest with you, I'm glad it's not happening in Utica, okay? It's commerce, it should be happening, and we're gonna have the people here in August, yes, Paul?
August 25th meeting, we're gonna.
August 25th, they will be here to talk about it. But I've walked up and down the streets in your area, people have called me, and I'll be quite frankly, I took time on days to go to Deerfield for that, and nobody shows up from the people that are calling me once I go there. So it kind of bothered me a little bit, and my biggest concern was, like I told them, here's the project, okay? Deerfield, and where you live is here. You're about 200 yards from it. So how dare you not let the people from Utica speak their piece? And that's what I went. They apologized. They said they weren't supposed to. Nobody was supposed to talk, not just them. But if you want, you can take my card and call me, and I'll keep you up to date on what's going on there. But a lot of it is people don't like change. I live over on Reels Drive. Do you know where that is?
Familiar.
Okay, it's right up over here. It used to be the bean field.
Gotcha.
They built it. My stepfather lives in it. They built a beautiful place, Deerfield Place, and Schuyler Commons. Okay, people went crazy when they were building that. Okay, guess what? That right now, and it was a problem in the beginning. People on Trenton Road got flooded because of all that stuff. But at the end of the day, that's a big tax base for the city of Utica. We're all struggling. We all complain about our taxes, we need to increase stuff. That's a big win. And I'm not saying that's up there. That's commerce. That's not, I get it. When it's in somebody's backyard, nobody likes change. But it's not really in anybody's backyard. If you go up there, and I also went with the mayor to try, because people complained. They had people coming here about the bus that was going down the road on Woodhaven, and we had traffic over there. There was people calling saying that they're cutting through and it's going to be 100 times worse. The only thing that we could have did is I went with the mayor and we were going to do a 90-day trial closing that top road out on Woodlawn. Okay, I was going to print 500 flyers and put one in everybody's box so they knew, saying that Councilman Beatrice and the mayor of Utica want to do a temporary 90-day trial to see how it is. Before word must have got out, I had numerous, I'm not even doing it because I had 100 people call me to say, we like that road open because that's how we access 12. So we're going to wait and see what happens if it begins a problem there. But I just want you to know that I kind of know what's going on, but it's not in Utica. It's in Deerfield. It's up there in Deerfield. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the concept maps that they were proposing had 11 buildings,
right,
apartments.
Right.
So
yes, and you realize it is 2 separate developers too, right?
I didn't know it was 2 separate
developers.
2 separate projects.
It's 2 separate projects with 2 separate developers. Come to the August meeting and you can ask every question. I just wanted you to know that I do know about it. That's it. So, anything else?
I got one more if I
That's
can.
okay. That's all right. I like when you come. You ask great questions. by the way.
I don't know if this is in your domain, but that fence going into Walmart and BJ's, that
Terrible.
god
We
awful
call-
fence.
Yeah, that's
Is
the,
that Utica's thing, or is that,
the shopping center has to take care of
wow, that's
it
terrible.
on Locust. Yes,
The roundabout and then the fence is back, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
They
I
put the
mean,
tarp over the top of it, now it's beat up. Yeah, I could call engineering and make that call. We've been trying to do it and they guess what? I'm surprised you're worried about the fence. You ever drive through the parking lot?
oh, I know. Well, I don't want to ask too many
No,
questions.
well, I'm telling you,
Another issue, yeah.
so that just goes to tell you, they're not taking care of the road. The last thing they're worrying about is taking care of their fence.
Okay, thanks.
Perfect.
Thank you, Mr. Petrus. We appreciate it. We'll make sure that you guys have this information if you have any further questions. But we have a full docket for tonight. So the first person I'd like to have come up is going to be a local photographer, Charlie Perotta. He brought some of his beautiful pictures back there. Charlie, if you want, I can meet you over at the table. Is that easier for you? Perfect. All right. So everybody crane your heads over here. Sorry. This is a little interactive, like Catholic Church kind of thing. No kneeling. No kneeling.
Sure.
Hello, everyone. Ooh, that's way too loud. Okay, sorry, this is my first time doing this. My name is Charlie Perotta. I'm a landscape, nature, photographer, writer, wildlife, homes, things like that. I'm based right here in York. I was asked to speak a little about a few things that I'm passionate about. For me, that's nature, it's history, photography, and particularly how my yurt connects to the area. All the pictures you see here on the table are all taken within an hour drive from here. Most people that get this type of view, you have to go a couple hours away. It's kind of right in our backyard. So it's a passion of creating and turning not just a hobby, but a legitimate business, particularly in the area. I've always been fascinated that every person, object, or place, all has a story. Photography kind of came later on. Started as a caption on the but I figured out it was a way for me to freestyle, preserve stories, and kind of bring history to life in a bit of a unique way. My photography, particularly, is about storytelling. Every image is a way to reflect the soul of our region, not just the image of it itself. It has a natural beauty, has a history, has a potential. My goal is to shine a light on what makes N.U.N.A so special. I know to all of us it has, most people they don't really realize it. So I want to create stories that make people proud to not just live here, but actually curious about to want to come. So through my photography, I'm looking to help reshape the idea of what it is. Not just as a place for rich past, but something with unique culture and revitalization. That does mean working with local organizations, like city projects, historical efforts, trying to document what is happening in the area and what has happened. Whether that's revitalizing public spaces like the harbor, having heritage sites like the historical society does, or drawing attention to natural gems like parks and trails, and like I've done here today. I do feel lucky to have a creative outlet that lets me combine the past with the present. There's also a real opportunity for my work to help local businesses. Strong images are an extremely powerful tool, whether that's for websites, marketing, tourism, or just displays inside of a home or a business. Imagine walking into a local cafe in the area, you sit down, and there's a photo framed, and it's the sun setting over a train. Or you go to sit down with your family and dinner, pictures of the canal with the sunset. It brings that extra connection and reminds you that this is all local to us, not just something that's distant away. It creates a sense of place and pride, and for a small community like ours, well, no, that does happen. I hope to offer local businesses and people who live here the chance to incorporate authentic, high quality images of our region, customized to everyone's brand story. Whether that's a shop downtown, a business in the canal, or just somebody looking to spruce up what their home looks like. Images are an amazing way to visually amplify that story. I appreciate you letting me share a piece of what I do here. Here because I do believe in Utica, and I believe in the power of nature and history and storytelling.
Thanks, Charlie. Really appreciate it. So, are the pieces we have here, are these for sale?
Yes, so all these are for sale.
Good news. There's quite a few of them up here.
Selling these for $50.
Perfect. And how can they find out some more information about you?
So I have cards up here. I have my cell phone number, my Facebook, Instagram, and my email on here. So if you'd like to reach out to me, feel free to text me, call me, or email me. My social medias I maintain constantly, so if you'd like to reach out to me there, I'd be happy to set something up.
Perfect. Excellent. We really appreciate you making the time to come and talk with us and bringing some of your beautiful art. Yeah, thank you for coming. You're welcome to pass those out if you'd like to, and thank you again.
Would anybody like a card?
Can we get a round of applause for Charlie? Excellent. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. All right, Mr. Robarski, I think you're going to hop in here with the 50-50 raffle real quick.
I just want to quickly, with tomorrow being primary day, I just want a couple quick things here. For those of you here from Deerfield or Marcy, you're out of luck. You got nothing to vote for. We have nothing on the ballot, and so you don't have to worry about it. You can stay home.
Nothing to vote for, nothing to vote.
Exactly. All right. In North Utica is divided up into basically two districts. We're not going to worry about 8 and 9 because that's for Mohawk Valley Community College. If you're in District 1 through 4, which would be from Lorraine Ave and Woodhaven Road over to the west side of Summit Terrace, that's District 1, 2, 3, and 4. You are going to be voting right here in the North Utica Senior Center. I'll see you tomorrow because I'll be working here. If you're over in districts 5, 6, and 7, which is the east side of Summit Terrace, over to Briarcliff, which is basically the Herkimer County line, you're going to be voting at Church of Christ, your Church of Christ, or 1330 Herkimer Road, which is on the right-hand side, just past track. And there's only the only people on the ballot is if you're a registered conservative. So if you're not a registered conservative, stay home. Don't show up at the ballot if you're a registered Democrat or Republican and say, well, I want to vote. How come I can't vote? You got to be a registered conservative. It's Anthony Leone, a Democrat Anthony Leone, and registered Republican Michael Gentile running. This is what your ballot looks like. And that's the only two people that are on the ballot. So don't show up and don't say I didn't tell you so. If you should have got one of these cards in the mail. If you have one of these cards, bring it with you. It makes it a lot easier when you vote. All you got to do, they can do is just scan the barcode on the back, and it makes it a lot easier. Right, Ruth? Yes. Okay.
Oh, one correction, 6-1 is not voting tomorrow.
Oh, they're not? Oh, you're right.
6-1 belongs to Marcy.
That's right. I apologize.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
it's just 6, 2, 3, and 4.
The west side, Cannon Road West is 6-1, and they can't vote in that conservative.
I'm glad you mentioned it. You know what? And that, on Board of Elections website, they didn't have that. They had 6-1 listed.
Really?
That's where I got it from.
I'll check. I'll
But you are correct, Tony.
Yeah, you're right, because that's Rick Klisnick's district. Good point. Joe, can you come in?
Sure.
There's $28 in the 50-50 drawing. Okay, ticket number 512-893.
Excellent. Congratulations. Thank you. And as you guys know, the proceeds for the 50-50 raffles, of course, go to sponsor the North Utica Neighborhood Association. So it allows us to do nice things like we had a flag that was donated to the center for our POWs. Obviously, we provide refreshments, and of course, we do other things in the community throughout the year when those needs arise. So supporting the 50-50 raffle is supporting the North Utica Neighborhood Association, so we really appreciate you doing that. Now, without further ado, I'd like to turn the floor over to Ms. Heather Tehan, as you guys know, from New York State DOT. She is here to give us an update on a lot of the recent projects that you probably all have driven through around with your fists shaking in the air. So, Heather, the floor is yours. They're primed and ready.
Thank you. Thank you. So, yes, my name is Heather Tehan, and I'm the Public Information Officer for the Region 2 of the New York State Department of Transportation, which includes the Mohawk Valley. And there's 6 counties in our region, from Madison, Oneida, Hamilton, Herkimer, Fulton, and Montgomery. And so all of the state construction projects and state plowing and everything else that goes on is under our district. So I want to make mention of a few things that may interest you this evening, and then I'm happy to answer any questions. The Exit 31 Pell study continues to go on, and I have the website for that if anyone's interested in finding out more about it. It's the Exit 31 PELstudy.org if anyone needs that information. That is brought to you by the Oneida County's Transportation Council. It is not a DOT project, but we are funding part of the study as well because it has to do with Exit 31.
What is the aim of that stuff?
So they wanted to find out a better way, or if there is a better way to control the traffic on Exit 31 and do something about truck traffic and perhaps getting a different hold on things there. Because it is a little odd the way that things are configured there. And there's always room for improvement, and traffic patterns change, drivers change. Traffic drivers are things like new factories going in, new apartment complexes going in, new businesses, and then things leaving as well. So there may have been a reason for something at one point, and now there's no longer. The traffic declines or the traffic increases because of a new traffic driver. So it's always good to do these studies and find out what's going on before they get into any more projects. So that's what that is about. We have the North Genesee Street Bridges Replacement Project that's coming up. We have a hearing that has just recently been booked for this location on July 30th from 6 to 7 p.m. That is a legal hearing for the project because there will be some acquisitions with the project in the business area. So if anyone's not familiar with the project, it is to replace the North Genesee Street gateway bridges on Route 921C, which is North Genesee Street, in the city of Utica. The goals are to reach to new condition, enhancing safety for all users, and supporting the economic revitalization of the city. The project will improve the corridor for future traffic flow, encourage lower vehicle speeds, and improve accessibility and mobility for pedestrians and cyclists. We're adding 2 10-foot multi-use paths on both sides of the bridges that will carry the whole street and then into North Utica. So we're looking forward to that project, but we're still in the design phase with it. The construction is expected to begin in fall of 26, and the project is expected to be completed by winter of 2028. So it's a lengthy project. It's 2 large bridges that we're going to be replacing. And at this point, as of today, we do not anticipate a detour. It is going to be staged construction. But what staged construction means is you're going to be driving through the construction. If we could detour, you wouldn't have to drive through the construction, but it'd be a lengthy detour around things. So this way we're going to have traffic going through in one lane, and we haven't made these decisions yet exactly how. We're still in that phase, but you will be probably 1 lane on one direction, 2 lanes in the other as we move through the project. And it is 3 construction seasons that will be going on. So if anyone's interested in the hearing, that's July 30th and 6 to 7, but there will be DOT representatives here from 5 to 6 to answer questions with the formal presentation at 6. And then from 7 to 8, DOT reps will also be here to answer questions after the presentation because there's always more questions after we present our findings. So there is that. And then I also wanted to make mention of a kind of detour that is going to affect some traffic. So it's a permit job. It's not our work, but the Thruway is going to be working on their bridge over North Genesee Street. And motorists will encounter a detour in place for the Genesee Street southbound downtown Utica exit. Traffic will be detoured to use Genesee Street northbound to Riverside Drive, westbound to Genesee Street southbound. And this is due to the rehabilitation of the bridge over the North Genesee Street area, and this is going to be in place until the end of October. So that will definitely affect some people. Yes.
Riverside Drive or River Road?
According to this, it's Riverside Drive.
I think that's a typo. I think it is River Road very briefly until it's just a U-turn essentially.
It is. It depends. It may be incorrect, but when I went over it when we left, that's what they gave us because it's from the permit of the Thruway. So I don't know if there's a reason that they're going to come around differently. Yes.
With this project that's coming up, you're talking about the throughway bridge over North Genesee Street. That's run by the New York State Thruway Authority.
Yes, they own it.
But on both sides of it, we have bridges for 790.
Yes.
Which is the Department of Transportation.
Yes.
With all the money, time, and everything that's being invested in this, any way of guaranteeing to the people that when that job is done, that the state, the DOT, and Thruway Authority can put some lights under the bridges like they used to have?
So we've looked into the lights.
You had a guy calling to bother you about it.
So
that's not passing your card out.
No.
So yes, we did look into the lights. So there's existing lights, but there's not enough lights. So there's existing lights, but then where the abutment of the bridge is, it doesn't really shine into the sidewalk where it needs to. It shines more into the road, but then that abutment kind of blocks it from the sidewalk in one area. And then on the other side, some of them are not in good condition. Yeah. So I know there's some under the Thruway Bridge, and we have no control over those, but I believe that's part of what they're doing as well. But I haven't seen the plans for it. So, but we've had conversations about it because it needs to be better lit.
Get your eyes open.
Yeah. It is tricky there, because it is shaded, so yes. Okay. So that is something that we're looking forward to as well. And then I have one more thing to talk about, which is the Boilermaker. So the Boilermaker's coming. We all know, we all love the biggest party of the year, right? So in Utica, the Boilermaker, we have a change. The New York State DOT has made a change to the runner drop off. So if any of you have people that come into town, you drop them off at the ramps, or you'll be driving through this that day. I have some maps up here if anyone's interested in looking. We've made a change to make things a little safer because we see people kind of pulling off into the shoulder and dropping off the runner and then trying to get back into moving traffic. Very unsafe. So we've decided to actually cordon that off. So now on the arterial at Burstone ramp and on the 5S at Culver Ave ramp, we have 2 lanes of traffic left. Left lane will be through, so if you don't have anything going on with the Boilermaker, you take the left lane. If you're going to drop off a runner, you're going to be in the right lane. There's going to be cones. You're going to drop off your runner or runners in your car. Then you're going to be able to get out on the right lane and continue and get back into 2 lanes of traffic. We're trying to make it so that we don't have runners running into moving cars. We're doing the best we can with that. It's an exciting morning and everyone's trying to get around, and then there's people who have no idea the Boilermaker's happening and they're just trying to drive through, and we're just trying to accommodate everybody safely. So that's the change we have. So I know it sounds a little confusing. I brought some maps in case anybody needs those. And then that's it that I have for the projects here. Is there anyone that has any questions for me or any concerns I can address? Yes.
Yeah, the 2 construction projects. The first one you went over. So when this is done, they're going to rebuild or whatever, restructure the bridge that's going to go south into Utica. But when they're done, we will still have the same exit when we come off the thruway with these light system that we have, which by the way is working very nicely.
Thank you. Yes, it is.
And the other people will once again go over the bridge down into the city when they're done, right? That's just a refurbishing of that bridge, am I right?
It's a complete replacement of those bridges.
Okay, so
that
that traffic pattern will be the same. As
far as I know at this time.
Is there any plan to put some really nice signs coming off the thruway that say Harbor Point, that say, this is the gateway to everything here?
Yes.
And it would be really nice to have some really beautiful signs that say, the Nexus Center, the auditorium, Harbor Point, coming off the thruway. And the other thing, I don't know if this is in your domain, but we lost the Welcome Center coming off the thruway. I'm sure there were good reasons for that, but this is a person that doesn't understand that. People are coming off the thruway, coming both east and west, and that center was there. Was maybe somebody, I don't know where I addressed that question to, but
They put it to the county building because of when they redid the parking lot or the trailers and all that stuff. There was no room for it. So we have a welcome center, but you are absolutely right. And you're even better.
What's that?
Your sign suggestion is spot on.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing all this stuff.
That's probably some stuff the city can do.
So is that the city?
So we do have an aesthetics group that's getting together for this project, and they haven't come together yet because our landscape architect is out currently on a medical.
But I mean,
But when she returns, we plan on, we're looking at aesthetics in a lot of different ways. We're looking at the different kind of railing that's going to be on the bridge. We're looking at signage. It's the gateway project, so we're looking at a gateway sign, gateway to Utica, that kind of thing. And so we'll be advertising for people that are interested in being on that committee to help us to understand what you guys want there. There is room in the project for signage, so we in different colors and different medallion bridges and things like that, because this is an enormous project.
Right.
It's $43 million to replace these two bridges, and we do have a raise grant, federal raise grant for part of that money. So,
and even coming off the thruway, where they, it's a thruway domain, but where they have signs of what, I mean, this is, there's so much going on here now in this whole North Utica area. It seems like we ought to really advertise it. Anyways, that's a thought.
Yep.
And for your second project, just ask one more question, I'm taking over your time. This new North Utica bridge that they're doing, that's going to be done in 2006, or will start in 2006.
Start in 2006.
You mentioned there's going to be bike paths on either side, or what is?
Multi-use paths. So that is for pedestrians and bicycles. It is not for electric bikes or anything with a motor. It's only for cyclists, the little scooters you kick.
Well, that'd be nice,
cycling.
because I ride my bike now over those narrow bridges over there, so that would be really nice.
Yes, and they're 10 feet, which is actually like a traffic lane, a tight traffic lane, but it's 10 foot on both sides. So there's and it'll carry over the bridges. It'll connect North Utica pedestrian traffic to Harbor Point.
Wonderful.
So it's going to be, we're excited about it. But again, we want to have some more of the input from the residents of the city to see what kind of aesthetic look you want to have. And then, of course, it's up to the electeds as far as what they choose as well. So, but we'll be advertising that we're looking for some input on those things. So
thank you.
Happy to have it. Yes.
There's the lights there at the new freeway exit, decrease the accidents.
So we're not able to run a traffic study yet, but I can tell you that we haven't seen as many at this point. But I don't have a full valid traffic study yet. But we haven't had any major incidents at this time. And we did get some complaints about it, of course. And people didn't understand the new light on Genesee Street, because why would you put it in between the bridges? But that's where it belongs. And that's why we have a light over on the pole as well, so that you can see what's coming. As you're heading there, you can see the light changing over here before you can even see it in front of you. So it has worked as a traffic calming measure as well. Yeah.
Is that new light, is it timed, or is there activators in the road?
It's activated, but I don't think it's in the road. It's not a loop in the road. It's a camera.
Oh, okay.
We're trying to get away from loops in the road, because then when we have to mill, we just did this in Waterville. We had terrible pavement condition in Waterville. We couldn't mill it until we could get the light control, because that also is a controlled light. It's not timed. And so until we could get that under control, we couldn't mill the surface. Now we were able to mill the surface, and people think it's like glass compared to what they were driving on earlier this spring, because this winter really beat up some pavement around here. So, yeah. Yes, John.
One last question. Where are we with, I know I'm not sure if I talked to you or Linda. Where are we with, so when you're coming up North Genesee Street, you're by Wendy's there, okay? You hit that bridge, and bang, there's a light on the top. So they were they talked about it, they did it in a different area, like I think they did it in West Utica, so when you're coming up North Genesee, you can see before you hit the bridge that when you get to the top of the bridge, it's a red light,
yeah,
a green light. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Now,
The warning.
Is that going to be? Maybe they haven't done anything yet with that, because
I think it's going to be part of the project with the bridges.
Because the bridge is still going to be the same. I mean, that's the only problem you have there, especially in the winter and stuff. You're coming 30, 40 miles an hour,
right?
And all of a sudden you're on top and you got a red button.
Right.
Where if you hit the bottom, it's red, you're going to slow up.
I think there's going to be some changes with the new bridge, so I don't think they're going to do anything until we get to that project, because we're increasing hydraulic capacity as well. So there's different things that are going to take place with the bridge. It is going to have a little bit different geometry, and it is going to be slightly like a few inches difference to the east. So there's going to be some changes in it as we go. So I think that's where that plays in. Yes, Bob.
Can you give us an update on Herkimer Road, N.U.N.A?
I don't have anything about Herkimer Road, N.U.N.A. other than the Pell study that they're conducting. Is there a project that's going on that you're referring to?
When we had that meeting here, when they had the study there, they're looking at it, working through the.
Yes, yeah. So that's that Pell study, and they're still in the process of that. So there's nothing new to share on that. But the Hawks team they're still working on things, and I'm not sure exactly when that concludes. I think the study concludes in the fall, if I'm not mistaken.
I hope.
Yeah. Any other questions for the DOT? Okay, well, thank you so much for your time this evening.
And as always, Heather, thank you so much for spending your time with us tonight and informing us on all the good things that are going to happen, right? A little bit of pain for a lot of payoff at the end, right? Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And of course, we'd love to have you back as things continue to develop. And if you can communicate with Bo, we'll make sure any of this information you want emailed out, we'll email out through the association network as well. So, folks, a lot of new things happening in North Utica, not only Harbor Point, but there is a new internet company in town. I think we got Chris and Adam here to share with you a little bit about GoSpeed Internet. So it's a fiber optic internet option, I guess, that is brand new for us folks here in North Utica. So as all of you know, your phones, your computer, all that great stuff, it's only as good as the internet that you're using. So I'm sure these guys will school us on that. It was a good flow. There you go. That was good.
Great to be here. Thank you for having us. I appreciate that. So, yeah, usually we ask for questions because some people aren't familiar with the technology. I think most people are familiar with Consumer Reports, though. We paid to be able to advertise this information. So out of 42 internet providers in the United States, we were tied for number 4 with Google Fiber. That's pricing. Everything else looks like Charter Spectrum is 31 out of 100. We were 86. So we just do the internet. It's fiber optic. So instead of using a traditional spectrum line, which is coax made out of copper with a dielectric semiconductor, with that kind of technology, you're using an internet that's being shared with your whole neighborhood. So it's much different. Fiber optic is a very thin thread of glass, and it's moving at the speed of light, symmetrical speed. So your upload and download are the same speed. I mean, it's inexpensive compared to Spectrum. So we do partner with DirecTV. It's an app now. They don't use the dish anymore. I see that face. I feel the same way. I don't care for it. But if you're willing to stream, I mean, you may be streaming now and not know it. If you're watching Netflix, Amazon Prime, Paramount. But yeah, there's always option. We do house phone. If you want to keep your landline phone number, we could port that in. So we do all of that. Any questions from anybody? What you might be thinking as far as that goes?
Are you live now in this whole neighborhood?
Whole neighborhood? No, but most of the neighborhood. So it'd be a case by case basis. So if you give me an address, we can look it up. The lines of demarcation are a little bit all over the place right now.
Is there a plan to have coverage throughout North Utica?
Yes, 100%.
And what's the timeline for that?
Well, we don't know. National Grid is holding up the permits for the telephone poles, so it's been a little bit of a problem. Hi.
So North Utica, is it just the section from the road area that you have?
Correct, and going up Walker Road, and then we go to, what's that street at the top?
So,
Coventry, Smith Hill, like right where that forks. We're up that far.
So about as far north as we currently go would be right up to like the TV station on Smith Hill, the few houses that are up there.
Right.
And then around Walker Road, like things brought me down there, would we go all the way down
That's
to
Deerfield.
that stretch of water.
You're not on Trent? I seen trucks the other day on Trent. You are on Trent?
So case by case, really depending on the street, and sometimes down to the side of the street, like Adam was saying, we're at the mercy of the permitting process through the utility company. Literally, sometimes, like perfect example would be Norfolk Drive in North Utica. One side of the street was available a couple weeks before the other, and it was just because of the permit. The infrastructure was there, the fiber was all there, it's just red tape through April.
So in November, I was in your office on Leland Ave. I want to switch over to you guys. And I live on Reels Drive, right off of Trenton Road. I was told that in January, you would contact me that was going to be put in at the office. Is it put in or not?
Can you repeat the name of the street?
Reels
Is
Drive.
it REELS?
Yeah.
So
The
while you
reason I'm
guys are
asking-
doing that, so just so you guys can understand, if you could differentiate maybe between why you have to put this one structure in, because some of the services don't require it, right? So what makes GoSpeed, like the infrastructure you're putting in, different than say like Horizon Bios, maybe some of the other products?
It's not underground, it's all where you guys are expanding.
So yeah, so it's fiber, so it's 100% fiber. So a lot of people that are familiar with fiber might know that some networks would be considered hybrid, fiber to the node and then coaxial to the home. Our network is 100% fiber from the head end all the way to the node to the home. So there's a lot of technology benefits to that, but I think the biggest advantage we have is it's another option as consumers. We're all looking for something other than the one real choice in our market, and here it is. You know, we're probably in terms of technology, you know, we're definitely better, safer, more reliable, more secure. As Adam was talking earlier, it's a dedicated line, so you're the only building or home using the network. It's not a shared network. You're not going to be limited by multiple users or traffic. Like a lot of times people are familiar with the fact that when they try to use the internet when the traffic is heavy, sometimes the experience is a little bit less than what we want. Maybe lagging or buffering. Fiber won't do that. And it's not that we're better than Spectrum, it's fiber's better than coaxial. As Adam was talking about with the rankings, we rank pretty high according to consumer reports.
Sure. Where's the switch located?
So
Are you working on the 258 building? On Genesis Street?
our switch.
Yeah.
So we have head-end equipment in North Duke, but I'm not on the engineering side, so I couldn't tell you exactly where that stuff is. I know we have some stuff at the community center, or the Legion, I'm sorry, on Herkimer Road. So that's where all the homes in this part of the city would be served.
I've seen last year, they're running the fiber lines over here on Upper Riverside Drive. So why is the National Grid giving us such a hard time to be able to run them? I still can't hear it.
That's the $1 million question. You know, we're just as anxious and eager as everybody for those answers and to try to get the process rolling and take those customers online. We're told that it will be July 30th.
Well, why is it like Upper Herkimer Road? You know, people get it. You know, National Grid give permission down there, but not over here. What's the difference?
The way I understand it, because we pick at this subject a lot on this side of the table, we ask a lot of these same kind of questions. The way I understand it is each poll is case by case. Like they literally have to go out and inspect them and make sure that they're comfortable. And I think that's really a fair approach. They're responsible for maintaining the polls, and there's a lot at stake for them. So I think it's just a checks and balances process that makes a lot of sense. Frustrating, but seems to be reasonable.
Yeah, I've actually been a customer since last August. I don't know about the first one in our group, but you guys were walking my neighborhood last summer, and my Spectrum bill went from 270 down to 86 for you. And then I added Fubu, which is a streaming service, so I can get the local stations, and my wife can still DVR everything on Fubo. So it still went down probably to $170 a month. So I saved over $100 a month. And I don't know if the speeds are as fast as you guys claim, but I haven't had any buffering problems.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Now, it's a perfect example. Everybody's case by case with the services that they enjoy and what they're paying for, what, what's worthy to them. But as Steve said earlier, everything's going to be driven by the internet. So whatever you're using is only going to be as good as the internet that's driving it. But I think your example is a perfect example. Everybody's case by case, and you have to look at what works for you. But again, it's all going to be supported by internet. I do the same type of thing. I have a couple of streaming services. I use the internet that's available to me where I live. The fiber's not there yet, but everybody should look at what their needs and wants are and craft something that is case by case instead of just being kind of pigeonholed into a package for maybe something you don't need, or maybe it's overpriced, or just stuff that you're paying for you don't utilize. A lot of people don't use home phone anymore, and when they're told by the provider that they present, hey, the idea that we're not going to use this, let's get rid of it. Person will come back on the other end of the phone and say the price would go up $10, kind of forcing them to keep the phone and not make a change. And we don't subscribe to that approach. It's get what you need, and we're not going to force you to take a bundle to save money. Our pricing is very transparent. It's laid out for the first year, second year, third year, so you can budget for it and know what to expect. It's not a surprise or a guessing game each month.
So in order to get local stations at the news, you have to stream. You have to get another company to stream the local news.
I got a streaming service called Fubo, which they told me about.
Why a V-Box? It's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Or a cheetah box.
You get rid of everything.
So an antenna would be a good low-cost solution to get the local channels, but that's not always the answer for everybody, depending on where you're trying to get the antenna to, where the TV is located. We understand that. Like that gentleman mentioned, there are definitely streaming services that will allow you to get your local channels. And I think it's all predicated on zip code when you sign up for those services. You kick in your zip code and it'll give you the locals.
And it may not be cost effective, but you can keep Spectrum just for TV and get rid of their internet service.
The only thing I don't think you can do. The only thing I don't think you can do is so Spectrum. I've had them for years. I got rid of all my boxes. I was streaming. I had the app. Yep. I don't believe that if you get rid of Spectrum's internet, I can. What's that?
You lose the app.
You cannot use the app. That's called Spectrum Choice, which I think is a great product, standalone. But they won't sell it to you without
you can still have your stuff.
Yes.
And have the box.
You can.
But you can't have the app.
You cannot.
That's right.
You're paying for that app anyway.
So why you're paying for the box? You're paying for your
box. Yeah, you pay the rental fee, but that part of the TV package is that streaming service.
Yeah, you don't pay for anything if you set the app. You're paying for your package if you decide to buy it.
Yeah, anybody that has the box should probably switch over to the app to save money.
$10 a box.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, Chris and I have been doing this a long time. I have plenty of customers that didn't know anything about streaming. Switched and, I do house calls. Chris does house calls. I go there a couple of times a month if somebody needs help. How do I get to my guide channel on the YouTube TV? It's really important. We're from the area. I mean, we live here. Excellent. Any other questions for you guys? Just more of a comment than anything pass on to your customer service folks. It's been a little annoying getting all the flyers and the sign up and the marketing, and then we sign up and we just don't hear anything. It'd be nice if we got an email every few months saying, we know you signed up back in summer 24, and we're still coming to your area. Like,
it's just scaring crickets has been annoying. And when you get a new postcard in the mail, like, I already signed up. I don't want to sign up again. So we'll pass that on to corporate for me. Thank you. And we share some of that same thought. Like when it comes to events and things like that, why do we participate if the service isn't available? I think it's a group's effort. It's kind of like day one stuff, and this is one of the frustrating things that we experience. But as local guys, again, says this is our backyard, we're glad to kind of take control of those situations, and we literally check on those. I keep notes when we check on those addresses every day. In our position, where maybe it's something that might fall through the cracks on the customer service side, I can't really speak to that, but we'll definitely look at case by case for you and kind of bridge the gap. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback.
I've got a dozen of these last year. Just the piece of GoNetSpeed. It's frustrating every time I get one.
Address to who? Okay. That's very, very eager of us. Presumptuous.
I had signed up, I am a customer. And after I became a customer, I still kept getting those things. There's some kind of disconnect within their system on that.
Yeah. I don't know if this applies to you, but sometimes with the way addresses are in our database, they'll have, if it's an apartment, for example, I don't know. Okay, so sometimes it's the answer that there's a duplicate address, or maybe it might be spelled slightly wrong on our end, so that maybe marketing up. It's just how we can kind of look into it. After this, we'll take your info and try to research a little behind the scenes.
Yeah, perfect. And these gentlemen will be here for a couple moments after the meeting, so please feel free to come and pick their brain, ask them questions. They got a bunch of free merch over here. They got sunglasses. Sign up and enter that. Yeah, you should have done the presentation. Thank you. All right, folks, so we're almost done here. One final person that has come to speak with you. His name is Jonathan, is it Lippy? Light, thank you. Yeah. Jonathan Light, and he is from Congressman John Mannion's office. Him and I spoke a little bit earlier. Of course, Congressman Mannion now has a Utica office, so that's what Jonathan's going to introduce us to. There you go.
Thank you. Just leave this very quick. My name is John Light. I'm the outreach representative for Congressman Mannion for Oneida County. I myself am from Oneida County. I grew up in Floyd. I used to work for Anthony Brindisi when he was a member of Congress, and going all the way back, my first job was I was in college, was working for Sherry Bowler when he was a member of Congress. So now in Congressman Mannion, I work for him. We have a Utica office now. It's opened at the state office building, so it's on the 4th floor there. So if you go bother transportation, you can also hit up our office and give us your 2 cents as well. We're on the same floor as Marion Butchon and Joe Griffo's office. So one-stop shop. You need to talk to your state representatives. You can talk to your federal representatives. I'm in that office. We've got other staffers who work out of there as well. The number one thing people reach out to our office for that we can help with is if you need any assistance with a federal agency. So if you or anyone you know has trouble getting a hold of Social Security, or they get your payments wrong, or you have a change in your home situation, you need to update Social Security, if they're not getting back to you, or say you're newly retired and you have to reach out to Medicare, but they're not getting in touch with you, or if you or someone you know is a veteran and needs help getting a hold of the VA for VA benefits, those are the kind of things that our office specializes in to help you out with. Sometimes you talk to these federal agencies and they don't get back to you. Then getting a little kick from their member of Congress helps, move them into gear and help you out. And also, if you reach out to our office and it's not a federal issue, if it's a state issue or a local issue, we're also more than happy to get you in touch with your city, county, or state representatives, get you in touch with the right person to handle whatever issue you might have at whatever level of government you need help with. So you can go to his website. It's mannion.house.gov. You can fill out a form there to email us, or there's a phone number there you can call. Or if you want one of my business cards with my number on it, my email address, just see me and I'm happy to hand that out to you if you want to get in touch with me. directly. All right, thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. We really appreciate it. And like I said, for our conversation, we have invited Congressman Mannion to come and speak with us when he's available. So we'll hopefully that'll be something that we can do in the near future. A couple announcements for the upcoming meetings. So our July 28th meeting, we have guest speaker Laura Cohen, Director of Community Development for the City of Utica. We have Kelvin Brown, Rural Preservation Program Manager for Mohawk Valley Community Action. So that promises to be a very interesting meeting as well. And then as we referred earlier, the August 25th meeting is actually the meeting where we're going to be speaking about that housing project. So we have guest speaker Gregory Sacco from the town of Deerfield. James Papello, the engineer for ARCN Development, which is one of the companies that's going to be working on that project. So hopefully we'll have a lot more answers for you during that August meeting. And as things develop and we get that information, of course, we'll share that to your email as well. So make sure that we have your email, of course, because that's the best way for us to communicate with you. And I just want to thank you all for being here and being so patient. It was a really full evening, so a lot of information. Please go and speak to Chris and Adam after the meeting. Take some donuts home. If I take them home, I have to eat them. And make sure that if we don't have your information, just sign up at the back table. Thank you again.